Well, hi! In today's video, I'm going to be using my most beloved paint markers from POSCA and PINTOR. But before we get to that, I gotta fix my mistake from a couple of videos ago. So, in one of my previous videos, I used these cheap felt tip pens from Big. I drew some fan art, but I completely forgot I had promised to draw Yato from Noragami for my best friend. So let's do it now. And here is how he came out. Please forgive me, my friend. I'm better than that, I promise. I hope you like him so I can sleep in peace. But anyway, let's continue with today's video. Some time ago, when I was organizing stuff in my drawers, I found these wooden panels laying around, and I said to myself,
I want that.
So I pulled out my whole collection of paint markers, including Pilot PINTOR markers and POSCA pens, and decided to just doodle around. No sketch underneath, no plan, no pressure, just spontaneous, mindless sketching. Oh, and by the way, it's totally not because I'm lazy and depend on my luck. Not at all, I promise. Anyway, I started out with something simple as a warm-up. I wasn't sure what exactly I wanted to draw, so in situations like these I usually pull out my secret weapon. Leaves. Not because I'm not creative or have no other ideas. Please believe me. Anyway, I used my favorite negative space technique for most of this painting, and honestly, it's not as satisfying with markers as it is with watercolor. It's harder to achieve depth when you have so little colors, and adding small details is nearly impossible because these nibs are gigantic. I guess I really miss my watercolors. I don't know what happened, but I've been avoiding painting with my watercolor for such a long time. I gotta do something about it. Oh, and speak of the devil, as you can see, my next painting is actually kinda inspired by my watercolor sketches. I love painting forests in watercolor. It's so easy and satisfying, and Of course, I had to see if I can do that with markers too. And I think it kinda works. What do you think? I had no idea I could blend these so easily. But I guess that was because the texture of the wood was helping the paint spread. But in the end, it was worth it, and I really liked that effect. My next painting is also very original for me, and not boring at all. I swear it's not like I've drawn at least 4 of these mushrooms in similar color palettes. You don't believe me, do you? No wonders! Comfort zone all the way! Well, anyway, I noticed some of my markers didn't want to cooperate, so I had to be very careful with my color choices. The plywood was absorbing paint like crazy, and I guess that's why it was a bit more challenging to paint on it. But it was still very fun, and I'm really happy I found these. I keep buying art supplies and forgetting about them, as if I had an unlimited budget or something. Disgusting. No, but seriously, I do have a problem. I'm sure some of you can relate to this though, or at least I hope so. I don't want to be in my art supply addiction completely alone. So when my little warm-up pieces were done, it was time for a chunky piece of wood. And that was an even bigger challenge. Not only because the canvas was larger, but also because my markers were just dying on me. I forgot to shake them well before filming. That's what kind of a YouTuber I am. Plus 10 subs, baby! What was I talking about? Yeah, I'm drawing mushrooms. Completely new topic for me. Never done that before. I'm sorry I had to. But let's be honest, at this point you just can't stop me. I'm too deep in this. Sometimes it's just good to relax and just draw what you enjoy drawing, right? Spoiler alert. I will challenge myself a bit more in another video. But for now, just bear with me and enjoy some fine mushroom. Painting this was pretty scary at first because I had no ideas whatsoever. So I drew the moon, hoping it would spark some inspiration. But I ended up painting mushrooms anyway. so I just went with it. I started getting deeper and deeper into my comfort zone somehow, adding clouds in the background. I guess that's just my go-to thing lately for some reason, but that also helped me balance the composition a little bit. I'm still not sure if it looks good, but for something that was completely not planned, I guess it's not that bad. Coloring the red areas was my worst pain. It may not seem like it, but I chose a marker with such a tiny nib for it. It was just impossible to enjoy it. It was scratchy and noisy and just terrible overall. Wouldn't recommend. I chose that specific marker because it was new and juicy, but I completely forgot the nib thing. It's a nice color though. Combined with the turquoise, it looks pretty neat. Normally, I don't think I would pick such a color palette, but I think these colors look pretty nice together. So in conclusion, you don't always have to plan everything you draw. Let your pencil rest and sketch directly with art supplies you can't erase. Might look scary at first, but I promise, it's totally worth it. So here are my finished pieces. I loved working on these and I have some wooden panels left, but I don't think I'm gonna do anything on them for a while. My hands hurt and I miss my watercolors. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and see you in another video. Bye bye!